Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Very excited to have this next guy on the show, Thomas Carchidi. He is a law enforcement vet. He is an author. We're going to talk about his book, A Life in Law Enforcement, a Police Memoir, The Good, the Bad, and the Corrupt. And he's here today. Thomas, welcome, my friend. Thank you for being back on.
My man, thank you, sir. It's great to see you again, brother.
It's good to see you, brother. Thank
We
you.
should
We were
have we
just
should we should have recorded the conversation we just had. That was the good one.
that
That
was
was the
good.
good one. Well, off the record, right?
Yeah, off the record, good one. But thanks for being back on, brother. And yeah, we were just
Thanks for
talking.
having me. Thanks
We
for
were
having
just
me.
we were just talking shop, and so I ask all the guests, especially Leos, that come on, brother. Again, why did you get into law enforcement? What was the catalyst? What made Tommy say, "Hey, I want to be a cop"?
Honestly, I just always had how do I even articulate this? I always had a feel, a need that I wanted to help the public, that I wanted to be out there. I wasn't really, especially when I was young, I wasn't really a desk guy, sitting behind a desk with the same nonsense every day in and day out. When you're young, you know how the saying goes, full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, yeah,
You think you're Superman. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be, so to speak, cracking heads,
yeah, yeah.
cleaning the streets, making things better. And as you get older, you quickly realize day by day that these delusions of grandeur, this false ideology that you have, it soon it hits it. You start to understand what it's really all about, and then you're like, when am I getting out of here? Instead of wanting to get in so much, you're like, when the hell am I getting out of this?
Start looking at the clock and shit. I
Exactly.
got 20
Exactly.
more years. Let me thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And what you know what's so funny? Tom, I mean, what you said is that I think we all, at least I did, I can't speak for everybody else, but I got in wanting to change the world,
Same here, bro.
wanting to
Same
fucking
here.
change the world. And like you said, and I'm not trying to sound negative, but you're exactly right. You quickly realize that all you can do is just go out there and do the best job you can, get drugs and guns and all this other shit off the street. But are you really, the older I got, am I really making a difference kind of thing? You know what I mean? Or is it just,
I do know exactly what you mean, bro. I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, what do you, I mean, I'm not trying. I mean, I love law enforcement. I know you do too. But it's so funny how your perception or my perception changed. It didn't happen right away, but over the years, it was like, well, fuck, I'm just going to work. I'm doing my job, making sure I'm safe. My partners are safe. I do my job. I want to go home.
100%.
I mean, it's. Do you think that like newer officers need like more a reality check about that? And again, I'm not trying to dissuade listeners if they're trying to get into law enforcement or in a process. Look, cop work is amazing, but it's not what you think it is on TV, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, most people get what they
No,
know about cops on TV. It's just a lot different.
it's totally different. And that's why I wrote my book. I
Yeah.
want people to understand, cut through the BS.
Yeah.
There's some media reports that are great. There's some books that are great. There's some television shows. My favorite show of all time, The Wire.
Oh, yeah.
They that's about as accurate as you're going to get. But the rest of this stuff, it's BS.
That's what I
I
think too.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to tell you. I wrote my
CSI, fucking every other
it's
city.
it's BS. And the reason why I wrote, like I said, I wrote my book was after you read my book, if you want to become a cop, God bless you. God bless you. But if you want to work in law enforcement, that's great. But don't go in thinking it's something that it's not. It's not. We were talking about before. When I came out, I was an animal. I thought I was the best cop since Elliot Ness. I was the best thing. Forget about it, bro. I 1 month I remember between felony arrests, misdemeanor arrests, criminal citations. I think I had like 50 something arrestable offenses in a 28-day period. I
Jesus.
was I was bouncing out after roll call. 10:39 roll call. 11 o'clock, I'm on the street. Within 15 minutes, I'm making my first arrest, processing, coming back, making another arrest. And I'm thinking I'm doing something. Like I'm cleaning the streets, man. After about a month, after about 6 months of this, I started to understand 90% of these, 90% of the criminal summonses, the citations, the arrests, they're getting dismissed or plead out. They're getting pled out. None of it sticks. It doesn't matter.
And that's now we were talking a little bit about this before, is that it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, you go out there, you bust your ass, you make a arrest or a collar, and and then you're thinking that, okay, this person's going to be gone for a while, probably not going to go to prison forever, but at least they're going to be out of my hair for a while. And like you said, they're right back out, and it's like their plea bargain, you know, and that's what's frustrating. I guess that's what I was trying to say, and again, it's just system. I get that, but and I love what I haven't picked up your book. I'm gonna pick it up, brother. But I love it when, like, cops as such as yourself, who've been there, who've been on the front lines, write a book, because yes, this is what people need to hear. And again, I'm not trying to dissuade people from getting into cop work, because we need good people.
Right.
But you need to be realistic about it. You're not going to change the world. Maybe you can make an impact in your own little sphere of the world, or your beat, or whatever. But you got to be realistic about it. Like you said, man, I mean, it's very disheartening when you're out there busting your ass and then bam.
If you can help one person, you've done something.
Yeah, exactly.
And the truth of the matter is, I realized real quick, man, like, one of my first gun arrests, 400 East Baltimore Street. I was 1 Adam 11, had a foot beat in East Baltimore, in the Central District. The precinct, it's so bizarre. The precinct is literally, they put the precinct there on purpose. It's 100 feet away from what they call the block. The block is like what Times Square used to be back in the day. Prostitution, drugs, guns, felony crimes, robberies, nuts, strip joints everywhere. So a rough place. You have to be a certain type of person to be, walk a foot beat on the block post, 1 Adam 11. I loved it. I was, an aggressive guy. I've always been.
Well, you're a black belt, damn it.
I am. Well, that's a whole nother thing. Martial arts. I'm a lifelong martial artist. That's my life. A big plug to my guys at Win Jiu-Jitsu, my buddies. Yeah, I'm an American Combat Karate black belt. Started when I was 8. Yeah. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I love it. That's a whole nother. We'll talk about that later. But I realized real quick what I was saying was, I make an arrest. A guy on the block, quote unquote, the block, has a gun. He gets mad. He sees his ex-girlfriend. She's with her new fiance or boyfriend, whatever it was. Puts a gun in her mouth in front of 1,000 people on camera. Me and my buddy see it. I almost wound up shooting the guy. Thank God I didn't. I make my first felony, firearm arrest. A week later, I do all the processing. I do all the paperwork. I'm out of service for 10 hours, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I go to court a week later. Before I even get to testify, the DA comes up to me, Officer Carchidi, great job, great work. Just to let you know, we don't need you to testify today. You can go back to patrol, or if it's your day off, whatever, go home. We gave so-and-so a PBJ, plea before verdict, basically. If he doesn't do it again for a year, it's wiped off his record.
Jeez.
So I said, hold on a second. Hold on. This guy put a gun in his girlfriend's mouth in front of 1,000 people. It's on video. I had a gun to the back of his head. I almost shot him. And you gave this guy nothing. You gave him a slap on the wrist. After that, I realized this is all BS, man. This is bullshit. You get so tired of this shit. You just want to go to work and mind your own business.
Yeah.
Because on top of it, the worst thing is the bosses love you. They're pushing for stats, get stats, stat machine. This guy's the best. Carchidi's the best. As soon soon as you get one citizen complaint, one complaint generated out of 50 arrests in the month, you're the bad guy. You're in internal
Oh yeah.
affairs. They're pulling you off the street. I had it with that nonsense, man.
I saw that a lot in my career, and you're exactly right, where it's like you can do everything good, go out there, write tickets, make arrests, do ever, get good stats, and then the minute you do so, they don't focus. It always seems like the focus is on the negative, and they forget
Always,
all the positive.
always.
And that goes into, and I want to pick your brain about this, brother, is that the mental health aspect of it. You
Yes.
know, these cops, and cops are getting out in droves, man. They're leaving. They're looking for an exit ramp, and
Not
we
only
don't.
not only are they leaving, they can't hire. They're not.
Yeah,
There's
that's what
nobody
I and
showing up.
that's what I mean is they can't hire. We were talking for the audience. Tommy and I were talking about the quality of officers, and I'm not trying to bash cops that are just getting on the job and stuff. I'm talking about some we all see it on the news. Some of these officers, it's like, what the hell are we doing, man? Did we drop some standards here? I mean, if we want to maintain the professionalism of the profession we all got into, we need to hire good quality candidates. And I remember, like you probably know, brother, when I first got into law enforcement, there were fucking lines out the door for people to fucking, there was just,
Yes.
now I don't fucking know what's happening. Not in every department, I should say that, but in some departments, it's like Jesus, man.
Generally across the board, that's the move. That's what's going on, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I, I don't even know what to say about it. It's an article just came out. I don't know, one of the New York papers. They were doing an investigation. I think they just caught like 30 NYPD cops, recruits that had prior criminal histories and all kind of messed up background.
How the fuck does that shit get through?
Because this is how it works, and this is why it gets me sick sometimes. You could be dismissed from a civil service job for the smallest of infractions. You could be a superstar for the smallest of infractions if you don't have a rabbi in your corner, if you don't have the right hook. If you know the right person, they'll push you through for anything. They'll push you. It doesn't matter what you do. In Nassau County, we have a previous county executive. Him and his wife, he got booted off the job as county executive. He was in charge of the police. He got booted off the job for fraud, all kind of craziness, 12 years in federal prison. A month later, his son gets hired for the same police department. The police commissioner in my county, all of a sudden he becomes police commissioner. He rises from sergeant to police commissioner. Then his two sons become police officers. Meanwhile, only 39, his two sons, I believe, one or two, I'm not sure if the second one got in yet, definitely one, out of tens of thousands of people that take the test in the county here, only 39 got hired. His sons were two of them. It's all BS. It's all who you know, bro.
Isn't that nepotism? Isn't that nepotism?
It's disgusting. It's a joke.
Do you think, brother, that it's going to, do you think the pendulum's going to swing back at some point, and where we start, seeing, because it not only, this, it not only affects the morale in an agency. Obviously, there's liability. There's liability in the job anyway. Now it's probably more liability if you got people who shouldn't be there on the job, but it also affects the community because you got cops out there that shouldn't be there, and they're making fucked up decisions, which we all do. We make mistakes.
Yes.
But then we start looking in the background like these recruits, and it's like, should they have been there in the first place? Talk about, why don't we just get out our checkbook right now and start paying people when, the lawsuits happen, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, I don't know. I was reading another article. The county paid out like 195 million in the past 15 years in lawsuits, and then they found none of the cops were guilty of any departmental charges. Then what are you paying out all these lawsuits for?
Yeah.
It's insanity what's going on. I don't know anymore. Honestly, it scares me. It scares me because, not scares me, it bothers me because here's the thing. Usually, like you said, there's a pendulum, swings back and forth. I don't know if it's going to swing back this time, though. I really don't, because with the advent, the invention of social media, 24-hour, media all over the place, cameras on every corner, cell phone cameras, social media, everything's caught on video. So every screw up that law enforcement slash government law enforcement makes is caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, even 20 years ago, things could be hidden. Everything's out front and center.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's ever going to swing back to the way it was, bro.
Do you think that, and this maybe I'm just fucking naive, but I mean, I like to think that there's more good cops out there that do the right thing. And yeah, there's always going to be the bad actors, the bad apples. But I always like to think, and again, maybe I'm just naive. I'd love to hear your thoughts that the good out there, which I like to think are the majority of cops, are going to eclipse the shit, and then it'll swing back around. You know what I mean?
So
Especially in a place like, the bigger cities and shit, where these cops have been taking a beating, man, literally and, physically and
yeah.
mentally. I mean, how long can they deal with this shit? A place like NYPD, man, a great department, a legendary department, I mean, and these cops have been through the ringer, man.
Well, honestly, though, and this isn't disrespect. Honestly, who wants to be a cop in Baltimore today?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to be a cop in LA? Who wants to be a cop in Detroit or Chicago? Or NYPD, like you said, the biggest police department, most well known
In the world.
Who wants that at this point? You're constantly scrutinized. You're always under the magnifying glass. Someone's always out to get you. Internal affairs, the brass, the prosecutors. Someone's always out to get you. The public is out to get you. The media is out to get you. I don't know, man. And honestly, I do believe there are more bad cops. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I do believe there are more good cops. 100%. There's more good than bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I saw it. I saw it right in front of my eyes. It's not true when they say one bad cop, one bad apple out of a bunch. That's not true. There's too many.
Yeah.
Starting from the top, the government, the politicians. I don't have to talk to you about that. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah.
Right down to the management that are doing the bidding of the politicians.
Yeah.
And then it comes right down. It trickles down to the cops. Like, I don't know. Does it ever swing back? I don't know. And it's almost good that some things don't swing back because some things need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But cops do law enforcement. I'm using the word, generally cops, law enforcement, police. They need to be respected. They need to be protected.
Absolutely.
I don't want to curse. When they screw up, people got to understand that it's a split-second decision when you're on the street. You got to give cops leeway for certain things.
Absolutely.
Now, if it's premeditated and you're just a scumbag, you're just a dirty cop, they got to go. You got to get rid of these people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't know. It's not looking good for law enforcement, and I don't know if it ever swings back, though. I don't know.
The best analogy I heard, and maybe you've heard this one, Tommy, is this guy told me this a long time ago. He said, think of football in terms of what you mean by being under the scrutiny law enforcement is every day. Think of football. You got a wide receiver. He catches the ball, and there's a debate on whether or not 2 feet were in bounds. Or it looks like how many angles do you see of that? You see fucking angles from everywhere. You see it coming up from the turf. You see all these different camera angles.
Everywhere.
To your point, cops don't have that. Cops don't have it. When you got a body cam on, it's just seeing this much.
Right.
It's not seeing the peripheral out here.
I agree.
So to your point, we have to give cops the benefit of the doubt. We have to. And I think in a lot of cases they don't. And to mention what you said about social media, Hell yeah. Give me a break. How many times do you see it, dude? A cop out there, making a good bust and I hate to use this term, but it is a term, a good shooting, you know, and there, if some of the listeners are what? Well, there's bad shootings and good shootings. But the initial response when it gets, a body cam footage is on social media is, oh man, that cop needs to be fired. And so now there's this, it's already out there. You know what I mean? And it's hard to come,
100%.
it's hard to come back from that because then you get into the
Very
political
hard.
stuff where it's like, I don't know, man. We don't need the press. And it looks like it was good. The cop, DA's looking at it. DA said it's a good shoot and all this other stuff. Maybe we'll just get rid of him anyway because perception.
Well, that's the bottom line. The bosses, the politicians, the media, they're always they're gonna get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're expendable. You're nothing to them. You're nothing. That's why cops today, they don't want to do nothing. They sit in their car. I have friends and family in law enforcement still. They don't want to do nothing because every little thing is an issue. Everything's scrutinized. Everything, they're afraid, they're going to get locked up. They're going to lose their job. They're going to get civil lawsuits. They're going to lose their indemnity. It's
Yeah.
it's very, I don't like to use the word frightening because I don't get frightened by much. I do. It's disheartening.
Yeah.
It's upsetting. Because if you can't do your job as a cop, then you're doing the public a disservice.
Absolutely.
You're not helping anybody.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
So we talked about the bad a little bit, talked about the corrupt. We mentioned that. What about
Yes.
the good, brother? Talk about some of the good because I always,
Yes.
like you did it for a long time. I did it for a long time. And it's so gratifying when, like for me, I can't speak for you, when I went on a call and I was able to talk somebody down or talk somebody into a pair of handcuffs without using any force at all. And that was the good, and of course the camaraderie with, the fellow cops, your friends, and doing good in the public and helping people, generally helping people. And they say, Officer Carchidi, thank you. Thank you for what you did. And I'm sure you experienced that, so
And I love that. And that's
yeah.
the part I love.
So we talked about the corrupt, the bad, and we're hitting on the good. So when
Yes.
somebody comes up to you and says, hey, Officer Carchidi, thank you for helping me, brother. I mean, that's
Yes.
the stuff when I was a cop that kept me going, that kept me fueled.
Yes.
It filled my tank up, maybe not completely, but it gave me enough juice to keep going.
That's what I loved about the job. I loved the camaraderie you built with certain people, not everyone, but with certain people.
Yeah.
I loved being able to help people. I got more of a thrill out of saving a life.
Yeah.
More of a exceptional feeling, more of a great feeling about myself and about the job and about just life. Doing something positive than any arrest I could have made or anything. I used to love helping people, saving people. Just such a great thing when you can touch someone's life positively instead of negatively, because so much of law enforcement deals with, on a day-to-day, it deals with citizens, individuals coming up against police, and they're usually getting arrested, right?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling when you're not combative, when you're not locking somebody up, and you're actually helping the public. That's what I really missed about it. That's what I love.
That's what I love about like bigger agencies like Baltimore, NYPD, the bigger agencies that have like a foot patrol, because in a lot of agencies, bigger agencies, they don't have that. I mean, yeah, we get out of our car, talk, bullshit with people, talk to business owners, but NYPD and Baltimore's, they have foot patrols or beats that they walk and stuff. Or is it more just kind of like NYPD that's famous for that?
It's NYPD has, you see this fly? This thing's been biting me all night long. I'm like, this thing is crazy. I have an interview going, and this stupid fly sneaks in my house, is biting the piss out of me. Um, NYPD does have a ton of fixed, posts and
I love that.
I, in Baltimore, we did have certain units, but it's not that big, not that many. Policing has gone to American policing has gone to response, right?
Yeah.
The R&P, the patrol car. The days of community policing, the days of knowing your beat, the days of sitting there talking to a business owner, that's long gone, pretty much, right?
Yeah. That's what I miss,
Yeah, and that
because
was great.
that's where you're going to get your information too. You know that.
100%.
You're going to get your information from the business owner who, hey man, what's going on? Oh, well, this
100%.
car was over here and this was shit was going on. All right, thanks, man.
And now you can hear my pimples going off. I apologize, man.
That's okay.
I apologize.
So, where can people find the book? For one,
Um,
Life in Law Enforcement, a police memoir, the good, the bad, and the corrupt.
yes, sir. My book is basically all over. You just Google my name,
Okay.
Thomas Carchidi, Tommy Carchidi. Google Life of Law Enforcement. It'll just pop up all over.
Before we get it,
Book baby, anything.
before we get into some other stuff really quick, I want to, if you were going to give advice right now, brother, and I'm sure you've gotten this question before, where maybe a young cop or, person that's interested in law enforcement, being a first responder, they come to you and say, hey, Tommy, what advice would you give me?
A 22-year-old kid, a grown man, but I call it a kid. I call him a kid or her. I would say, listen, forget about John Wayne, Wyatt Earp. Forget about going out there and, cleaning up the city, cleaning up the streets. I would say keep your ears wide open, your eyes wide open, keep your ear to the ground. Learn. I don't want to say do the bare bone minimum. I don't want to say that. But post integrity, beat integrity. Try not to generate citizen complaints. Mind your own business. The days of, I used to work plain clothes. You jump out on people. They used to call them knockers, in the city. Oh, shit, the knockers. I'd be wearing a football jersey. I'm a big, scary dude. People like, yo, what the Those days are over, man. I would never do that today. For
Yeah.
what? You're going to get a million complaints. You're risking your life. I would tell the new young, I call them kids, slow down, handle your business, don't be so gung-ho. And the best way I can explain that, the movie Colors.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember the movie?
I love that movie. Sean Penn and
Yo.
Robert Duvall.
The best, that interaction between those two characters. Robert Duvall is an old, salty veteran.
LAPD.
He's seen it all, man. And he's like, bro, slow down, slow your roll. And Sean Penn's like, nah, bro, I'm a big dog. I'm a big dog. I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was right. In the end, they all got fucked.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen, for a listener, if you haven't seen Colors, it's an older movie back, I think, in the 80s.
88.
88. Check it out. It's a classic police movie, a must see, because like Tommy said, it really encapsulates the generations and the different, and all that, different thought process. You get a veteran, and a rookie, and the veteran's trying to teach this rookie that if you want to last in this career, you basically have to pick and choose your battles, for one.
Exactly.
Shut up, listen, do what you're told, be in the right place at the right time, in the right uniform, and you're gonna be fine.
I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I learned the hard way. Just like, I don't know if you did, is that, just shut up, because like getting back to what we were talking about before, we're all supermen or superwomen when we get out of the academy and we get, we're on FTO and all this shit, or, all this stuff, which is, I'm not trying to, it's good to have that enthusiasm, but I like what you said is about be realistic about it, be safe, if you want to last in this career a long time, you have to be smart about it.
And now
And
think about it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, no, go ahead.
Think about it. That movie was made in '88, right? So that movie documented the '80s. That was before Rodney King. That was before the video beating in LA, the riots. That
Yeah.
was before policing really started to take a turn. He was saying that back then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's like to be a cop now?
Oh yeah.
Pulling that shit today?
Yeah.
You're not going to have a job. You're gonna be in internal affairs every day. You're going to have a complaint every day. Police brutality. You're going to be. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so let's talk really quick about for the listener out there. Tommy is in his third year of law school.
Yes, sir. I am.
What made you? I come from a family of lawyers. What made you? And I love lawyers. What made you go to law school, bro?
I'm a glutton for punishment. Um, I almost wish I didn't start it at this point. It's mental torture. It's like 5 jobs at the highest level. There's a reason why, there's so few population percentage wise, why there's so few doctors and lawyers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a hard thing. Anybody that's gonna, pass medical school, pass the bar exam, pass if you could pass the bar exam, I don't ever want to hear someone tell me that person's stupid. Because it doesn't make sense. You hear people sometimes say, "Oh, that person, I don't know how he's a lawyer. He's a dummy. He's a retard." Excuse me. I'm old school. I still use that word. I should.
Yeah, we can't say that anymore, Tom.
Yeah. It just doesn't. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 and 1 is not 4. It doesn't equal. If you pass law school and you pass the bar exam, you have to be pretty intelligent. Yeah. When I was in college, I either always wanted to work in law enforcement or go to law school.
Yeah.
And law enforcement was more appealing at the time. I was younger. So I became a cop. I became a police officer. I retired early. We spoke last time and other times we've spoken. I've suffered some tragic issues in my life. I had stage 4 lymphoma, cancer, 9/11 related. Thank God. I don't want to say I beat it. Thank God, God beat it for me.
Yeah,
I'm still
exactly.
here. I had backbreaking cancer. I had a big tumor in my lymph node, a big tumor in my T5 vertebrae. I had other health issues, herniated discs from car accident at the police department. So I retired early, and I said, you know what? We live once. Everything I do, I'm too much sometimes, but I'm like very alpha. I'm very aggressive. I'm a go-getter. When I'm dead, then I don't have to worry about sleeping or going to law school or going to jujitsu, breaking my body in jujitsu. When I'm dead, I don't have to worry about that. Right now, I said, here's an opportunity. Let me try law school and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'd rather look myself in the mirror and know I gave it a shot and failed than never tried. Thank God I'm finishing up my 3rd year, and hopefully I'll graduate,
Wow, you'll graduate, brother, and you're going to be good at it. I can tell.
Thank you,
because
bro.
you're going to, because you have the background. You have I mean, I don't have to tell you this. You probably know this. You got the law enforcement background, many years. You're obviously disciplined. You're a black belt, like we hit on that.
Yeah.
And so it takes discipline, in martial arts. And then to be a lawyer on top of that, brother, shit. And I love what you said, Tommy, about you've been through so much medically.
Yes.
And God, I love when you said God, God cured it, because he did.
He did. He did.
But I love what you said. One of the things that sticks with me, because I work in behavioral health, I told you that, is that there's a great book out there, and it's called The 5 Greatest Regrets of Dying. And it chronicles this hospice nurse, and she becomes friends with these people who are on their last stages of life.
Okay.
And basically, it's exactly what you said about, you want to do as much as you can while you have your time, because the whole purpose of that book, and I don't want to give it away because it's a great book, it's you want to have the least amount of regrets when you die.
I believe that.
Because the last thing you want to do, I heard this on a Rogan show years ago. I can't remember who the guest was, but they were talking about heaven and hell. And the guest said, my view of hell is?
What's
And
that?
Rogan was like, what? He was like, dying and meeting the person you could have been. And
Listen, it
I
makes a
was
lot
like,
of sense.
holy shit.
It makes a lot of sense, man.
That's why I love what you're doing, because you're like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it.
What
And
do you got? What do you got to lose, bro? What do you
you
got
don't
to
have
lose?
anything to lose and
Right,
everything to gain.
right.
You
But
know as
people,
well as
so
I
many
do.
people.
You
Go
know as
ahead,
well
bro.
as I
Please.
do. Most people stay in the middle. Most people, you know, stay in the
Yes,
middle with the herd and stuff. They don't want to go outside because the middle is the comfort zone. And I get that. We're all creatures of
100%.
comfort. But the true greatness, the people that truly excel, like you, are out here on the peripheral. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. I do. And I never, so to speak, I don't ever want to be an average Joe.
Yeah,
Meaning, if God gave me an ability, I want to work to that ability and give it my best.
absolutely.
If all I can be is average in something or even below average in something, that's fine. But I want to be the best I can be at it. So my mom used to give me an old saying. She's very religious, Italian woman off the boat. My mom and dad are from Italy. She always used to say, Christian, Catholic, she says, Tom, things such as jujitsu, things you love, they're God's gift to you. But what you do with that, what you do with jujitsu, or what you do with law school, or what you do with college, or what you do with martial arts, or your life, that's your gift to God.
Oh wow.
That's your gift back. So, really, a big part of me going to law school is for me, self gratification. But I want to give it back to my God because I know
Amen.
one day people are crazy if they think that we're going to leave this earth and not meet someone higher than us. They're crazy. If they think all this just happened by a big bang, they're out of their mind.
I agree, brother, and that is,
So,
I agree 100%. And I got back into, I grew up Catholic, very strict Catholic. My mom was Italian and Spanish, and my dad was Irish. I grew up in a very strict Catholic, Roman Catholic family.
well,
Rosary,
what state did you grow up in? I forget. What
Colorado.
Colorado, that's right. Okay.
And my mom would have rosaries everywhere. I still have the rosary she gave me when I was a kid. Candles, St. Jude. You know,
Yes.
Mary, everything, candles, and so Catholic schools. But I'm exactly. I agree with you 100%. I have I have family members that are atheists, and I'm like, and I love them to death.
Of
And
course.
but it's like,
Of
dude,
course.
how can you? I just don't get it. And to each his own, man. I get it, but it's very depressing for me. Like when I'm gone, fuck, I believe that's faith that I'm going to meet my maker and go from there. And
Listen, you hit the nail on the head. To each their own. And I respect everybody. And I listen to everyone, but I don't believe it.
no, exactly. And that's
I
belief.
don't buy into it. I
Well,
know that there's something more.
there's just too much stuff that happens in from my personal life. Like when I know God was there,
Yes.
in my some of my darkest times,
Yes.
and I know He was there. Could feel that in my
Yep.
heart. And but that's faith, brother. And that's faith. And but yeah. So if people want to reach out to you, my friend, how can they find you, Tommy?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at my house in Long Island with my pit bulls. And you better be friendly because they're going to bite your ass. You can find me online. Literally, just Google my name. You can email me.
Yeah.
My first initial, T Carchidi, my last name, TCarchidi at hotmail.com.
Carchidi.
I just email me anytime you want.
Tommy, you're a great guest. I love that. You're Italian.
You know what? I
Italians.
don't know any other way. My parents are from Italy. I was born in Bensonhurst in
Do
the
you speak Italian?
70s.
You speak
But
Italian?
I understand the dialect.
Okay.
Not the full Italian language, which they're going to now in Italy, is a little different than the dialect. But when my parents speak the dialect from, say, Sicily, Calabria, where they're from, or my uncle speaks from the Sicilian dialect. I understand that.
Yeah. Do you know? It'll blow you away. Do you know what I speak? And just because my fiance uh, was born in Iraq, she's
Okay.
Christian. She's
Okay.
Christian.
Okay.
She is Assyrian.
Interesting.
Assyrians were one of the first ancient civilizations.
Yes,
They're,
sir.
Mesopotamians, Babylonians, Assyrians. She speaks Aramaic
Wow.
because that's what Assyrians speak. And then she also speaks Arabic and, of course, English. Um, so I'm starting to speak more and more Aramaic.
Really? Can you write it?
I can't write it, but I can
Interesting.
speak a lot more of it because she's teaching me a lot of it. And as we all know, or maybe some people don't know, Aramaic was the language Jesus spoke.
That's. I was just going to say. I'm huge into the Bible. I listen to my Bible app every day.
Yeah.
That's the Bible.
Yeah.
That's how Jesus spoke.
And I don't know if people, the listeners know, and like most of the Bible was written in Hebrew, but like 15% of it, the original Bible was written in Aramaic.
Yes.
And so people who speak Aramaic and people who speak Hebrew have a lot language wise in common.
Now I forget what language. I got to go back and do my research because I know I sound like I'm Tony Soprano, but I'm a big geek. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm a rare mix of like a street guy, jock and nerd.
Yeah, yeah.
During those times of Jesus' time, what did they speak Aramaic?
Yeah, it was Aramaic.
Okay. Okay.
The language Aramaic actually came from the Armenians.
Okay.
So a very, very old. The Assyrians descended from the Sumerians. One of the first civilizations. The interesting thing, the listeners are probably, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yo, we spun off. We spun off.
We just went off. So the interesting thing about the Assyrians, they were very brutal, and they had to be, it's just a time period. But the Assyrians predate Jesus by about 2,500 years.
Wow. Okay.
But the Aramaic language permeated in the region at that time. So Jesus spoke Aramaic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got to put you on with my father. The guy, he'll talk your ear off for days and days about history.
I love history.
Yo, my dad with his Italian accent, you'll die laughing. You won't know what the hell. Well, you won't know what the hell he's saying. Forget about it. Me and my family still don't know what he's saying.
Tommy Carchidi, thank you, man. Thank you so much for being back on, brother. I appreciate it. And for the listeners out there, I hope you enjoyed the show. We digressed a little bit towards the end, but it's a good talk. I love it. And if you want to reach out to Tommy, everything's going to be linked up in the show notes. Brother, God bless you. I'd love to have you back on down the road, man. And please be safe, my friend. I hope law school pans out. I know it will. You're going to kick ass.
I thank you. I enjoy our conversations. I'm gonna harass you and bother you. I'm gonna text you and call you. Let's do this again. Let's
do it, brother.
We'll talk about martial arts next time and mental health.
Let's do it, brother.
My man.
Right.
God bless.
God bless, man. Take care.
Later, bro.